Where will I see the people talking?
Hi, I'm Gary, and I just got here. We probably don't have too many people on quite yet, so we'll watch the chat. My wife's going to help me and let me know what everybody's saying. I haven't done my homework quite as good as I have before. I didn't look through the manual quite yet, but I did watch the RC Sailors build it, and so I don't think it's going to be too difficult. I do have the manual here, have some Loctite, there's a few screws. There's a lot of wires to plug in, so we'll get this done, and hopefully some people will join up to watch the live build. So first thing we got to do is put the horizontal tail on there. Looks like it just takes 2 of these screws, and I think all the screws here look like they're the exact same. So we'll just get that all lined up. The inside of where the screws are going to go is metal, and the screws are metal, so metal to metal, they always say put Loctite on there. So we'll do that. There's a couple little wires here that are feeding out the front that are going to go hook up in here. So we'll make sure that happens. And I'm sure those servos are going down. I think that's it. Just a couple screws. Last time I had Loctite on the plate already. We'll put a little drop here and be ready. I did put a few extra plates here today because last time it soaked through. And go ahead and get the second one in there, and then I can just screw them down. Is anybody on there yet?
Strictly Dave and Kevin Trappin.
Well, hey Dave and Kevin. Glad you guys are on there. Kevin, thank you so much for this plane, man. And he's been a great supporter to the channel and sent this airplane and the battery I need. Sorry about this, but I forgot to get I didn't get the right adapter. So I will get one on the way, and I borrowed a battery from a buddy of mine that has the same plane, so we'll still get it in the air tomorrow. You guys see that airplane that the RC Sailors flew on their channel not too long ago? It's E-flite F-16. So I must have had the wrong wrench because it was spinning in there. So maybe.
Kevin said, I warned you the battery connector wasn't the same.
Yeah, you warned me. I'm sorry. I looked at it and I thought for sure it was one that I had, and then I checked and it was too small, so I'm gonna get an adapter though. I was thinking about taking this connector off and putting one that would match up with the battery on there, and I think I could do a good job at it, but I didn't want to modify it. I want to use the what's in here, so Looks like it's down good. So let's see what the manual says is next. It says do not over tighten the screws. I didn't break anything, so I don't think I over tightened it. And so next is the rudder. And it says make sure the excess servo wire goes up into the fuselage. So I do remember the sailors doing this step, and it at least when they did it, it looked a little tricky. We'll see how it goes.
He said he spent more time trying to order a battery than the Viper.
I bet. It with the connector in here, not quite standard. I mean, a little bit bigger. In case you guys don't know, the reason the bigger connector, these contacts in here can carry more current, and so this is gonna be a powerful plane. I can tell already. Pretty excited about that. All right, there's one elevator. And I'm just making sure the colors are matching up when I'm plugging them in.
Whip pilot says, Gary, we need to fly these together.
You got one of these, Adam? Or you mean my other jet? I did try to set the latency for this video so it'd be quicker. I don't know if the change took, because I just did it before I ran down here to start the video.
He said it's still in the box.
Oh, cool. Well, it shouldn't take very long to build, and I don't expect this to take too much longer. But like Kevin warned me, Adam, if you don't already have it, you're gonna have to get a bigger battery with a bigger connector on it, because it's got XT60 and or EC5. Has an EC5 in there, and so there it goes. A little bit snug. It's taking shape, looking good. I know the mats that you see every once in a while, that's who I borrowed the battery from, and I'm pretty sure he's wanting to meet out there and fly. He's got one of these. And he crashed one of his jets not too long ago. In fact, he was using the battery he let me borrow. It said it went flying out the front of his plane.
Kevin said, when I saw Nate from the RC Sailors fly the Viper, I fell in love with it. It's a screamer, but with the flaps you can go really slow too.
Yeah, I saw that it has flaps and the retractable landing gear. I'm pretty excited about that because, like you said, we can get the speed up, but we can drop them flaps and really slow it down, and it should make for a really soft landing. You guys know how I like to do those fast passes, so I'm pretty excited about being able to do that and then drop them flaps and just bring it by really slow. I've been pretty excited about how the channel's been growing. I noticed today I was up to 458, so we might be up to 500 by the end of the year. That's pretty awesome. That's getting pretty nice and snug. Can hear it squishing, so I don't want to get it too much. that's it. I did put the bind plug in already, so that when I'm ready to power it up, I will have to set a new bottle in my radio. Let's see what the next step is. Wing. Oh, so they're telling me to make sure I get the wires up through the fuselage, and then the rest of the screws go in the wing. Alright. I did bring down my water. I remembered this time. Gotta have the refreshments. This cockpit looks really cool. It's got a little something right there. We'll get that. So there's a little tiny hole right here to feed the wires through. And you can see it's the motor right there with the fan on it. It's going to pull a lot of air through these openings right here.
Dastardly Dave says Spectrum receiver, question mark.
Yep, it's got their the AR 636 or something like that. It's pretty standard for them. And they got the wires all taped up, so I think I need to untape this to be able to feed them up in there. I hope. If you guys don't know, that's my wife talking to me, reading the screen for me. It was a little bit difficult trying to read the TV monitor that I was using. So I asked real nice.
He said the setup will be similar to his F-15.
Right. Yep. Okay, this might be more difficult than I thought. I do remember, I think they edited their video. It's got to feed up. Find where it goes. Oh, right there, huh? So here's the wires. It's gonna hook to those, but I gotta bring them up through this just a little tiny hole. And there's a bunch of wires in the way. How nice is that? And that's the flat gear. Almost, I don't think they say to do that, but I almost want to feed them down there and then try to pull them back. So I need, let's do this. Get the nose of the plane over there. Alright. I need to get it, all those wires down through there. There it goes.
Kevin says my fingers are always too big to drag wires through the tiny fuselage.
Well, same here, guys. Really big fingers. We'll get it though. Although the little tag's sticking to my fingers. I'll have to ask Nate how he did it, maybe. I'm about to spill my drink. So we got it pretty close. Let's see if I can see him from the top to pull them through. There's one of them. So tiny.
You said Nate has skinny fingers.
Yeah. It would have made it a little bit easier. I see at least one more down in there that is in an awkward position.
Some guy named Gary thinks I'm gonna help you. I'm not. It says get Mrs. to feed wires while you hold fuse and wing. Her hands gotta be
By
smaller
name,
than
is
yours.
it Gary Zion?
Yeah. Gary.
Or even better.
Hook mocker.
No.
I got a crochet hook.
Well.
You want a crochet hook? Do you want me to hold the thing?
It's right there where I can see it. It just doesn't want to. Did you say you do have one right here?
A crochet hook is right here.
Oh, well, let's try that. I think I might have got it. If I can. There it is. Alright. So now, I think I have them all pulled up, but man, are they short. I mean, that's it right there. That's as far as it comes up through there. And then I got to match it up with these. Wow. That's going to be fun. Alright, well, I think I have all of them up through there and the wings on. So the next step is that, actually before I even hook those up, I think is to put the screws in. So we'll go ahead and do that because I think they're all through. Move my water back here so I don't dump it over. Stole the wife's crochet hook. She was working on a blanket or something.
Apron.
An apron. She makes all these aprons that are really cool. She's made Santa Claus ones and snowmen and gingerbread men. Oh, sorry guys. So, I don't want to mess the tail up. We'll get these screws started in there. Am I still in the camera shot?
Yeah. Well, this is like really delayed. But yeah.
Alright. So start that one. I think it's slipping in there. Feels like it's starting. Maybe. Some of these almost feel like they're too short. You guys all watch the video today? I flew the F-15 again.
Kevin said great flight today, Gary.
Those landings turned out way better than I was expecting with as much wind as we had. The jet and the Mamba both stuck the landing really nice.
And Dastardly Dave says, yes, nice doubleheader.
Yeah, I think I might start doing that a little bit more, especially with these airplanes that are bigger because the flights are so short. You get a 3-minute flight because the batteries can't go as long, and the videos turn out really short. So since I'm doing them live, if I was recording them, then I could go, you know, just multiple flights and put them all together. But one more screw. And these are all need tightened down some more. But one thing when I was working production that I learned is if you got a bunch of screws going into one surface, you start them all before you tighten them, because then you get a bind and you can't get one started, and then you're backing them back out.
Kevin said no phantom power lines today.
Yeah. Flew in a more controlled space with less power lines. That was for sure. It's funny how I'm turning these other screws, but that one right there doesn't want to spin. Like it's just a hair bit bigger. Let's see. Well, I don't think it's that big. We'll get that one in a minute. There, that one's tightened down. I have to go back and check a couple of these. The screw heads don't look like they were the best of quality. Now we got them all put together. I'll just get the wires matched up.
Kevin said, I have the Aero Scout and crashed it on the maiden flight into a chain link fence. Had quite the audience. And Dave said, ooh.
We had the Aero Scout out when we were in Kentucky, and Gary Zion, or K9 Bike, it might say, he that might be his thing on Facebook, I'm not sure, but anyways, he did really good with his Aero Scout. We kept giving him instructions, but he pretty much knew what he was doing. Alright, those are all hooked up already. I need these hooked up. And here's gear. So the other aileron flap. And need find one there's something that says gear. There it is. So feed that one through. Right there. The yellow wire. Dan Nunez. It's Newlands, yeah.
Gary Zion did great, just needs to let go of the fear. Kevin said the Aero Scout is a tough plane, so just minor cosmetic damage.
Yeah.
And Dave said yes, he needs more seat time.
He'll have it perfected not too long. Kevin, do you have anybody to talk you through the flight at all? These wires are short, especially for this landing gear. Alright, that's plugged in. What's this one? Aileron.
Kevin said not really.
Not really. Aileron. Doesn't look like it's specified on either one of them. Yellows are down. Alright, that one's plugged in. And here's a flap. And there's a flap. Oh, yellow. Like that. And it's another aileron. Aileron yellow down.
The AMA Club is a drive and not too many wide open spaces to fly where I live. That's from Kevin.
Yeah, it's important to have a nice open space, especially when you're learning. You don't want chain link fences to run into. But the Aero Scout, like you said, it's pretty sturdy. It can take a hit. It's not what you want to do, right? All right, so I see 2 ailerons. I hooked up 2 flaps, right? 2 flaps. That's gear.
Dan wants to know if you're going to attempt to go inverted with the Viper.
You know I will. But I'll make sure I have a lot of altitude. Plenty of room to roll out of that. I have no intentions of crashing this plane. It's so nice looking. Alright, I got it bound up, or I got it ready to bind up, I think. Make sure all the surfaces work.
In beginner mode, the Aero Scout needs room. That's from Kevin.
Yeah, it takes some pretty slow turns. So you definitely need room to get it brought back around.
Michael Bainey said hi.
Well, hey, Mike. I heard you ordered some fun toys. How soon do you think that's going to be on your channel? All right. So this is what I'm going to put in there.
Springtime, he said.
Springtime.
Springtime LOL. I don't know if that means that he's joking or what. Springtime.
Yeah, you guys got a foot of snow yet?
We're gonna have like 3 inches tomorrow.
Yeah. It'll turn into a foot real quick, I'm sure. He's from Niagara Falls. Alright, I'm just waiting for the radio to come up so I can add a model. And this battery I borrowed has, he said he didn't get his whole flight in, so it should still have some juice to it. I think after I'll have to find a wrench that'll work to get that one screw in, and hopefully I'll have to go back and all right. There we go. And add a new model. I don't know how many of you guys seen that Spectrum brought out an IX20. We won't talk about how much that is because my wife's right here. Because if I want it, that would be a hefty no. Because it's over $1,000. Woo! Uh-oh, she heard me. I probably wouldn't spend that much on a radio, but it does look really cool. Alright, I'm going to set up a default airplane. Create. You can see it's saving the current model and then creating a new model for me to start with. And I'm sure they got it set up to go from just the standard settings.
Dan said, so it's on order then, Gary? And Michael said, I thought you did yesterday. And Kevin said, oh, well.
Man, that IX20 looks really good, but man, I don't use all the switches on this radio, so if a few years down the road I'm flying big giant airplanes that require all them channels, we'll think about it, but
Dave said 4 easy payments.
4, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so I have the new acro turned on. We'll power this up. Hopefully the motor doesn't kick in. That was 6 beeps because it's a 6-cell battery. And it's flashing like it's bound up, or it's ready to bind up. On here, I just hit this bind button right here, and then I hold right here in the screen, and it's trying to bind.
Kevin says seasonal holiday gift.
Yeah. Oh, it failed. So if you guys saw Nate's video when he did his, he actually got up and walked away. So my guess is I need to do that. So I'll reset the airplane so that it goes back into bind mode. And I will move the radio right here, and we'll do it again. So now it says success, and it says I click OK. I hear the airplane kick the flaps on. And let's see. There's the wheels. Woo!
said move away from the plane. Kevin said close proximity. Then he said, yeah.
So there's, I need to set up the flaps because they have special settings and model adjust. Servo setup, I think it is. Guess not. Alright, let's back out of that. Model setup. And then oh, this was so easy on the last one. I thought it just said it. There's throttle cut. Let's see. Well, it tells me in the manual how to set this up. I didn't want to do that on the video, but these look like they're all moving in the right direction. And the front wheel, unlike the F-15s, the front wheel is nice and straight. And I have them. Oh. So, in Nate's video, he did that and blew ashes in his fireplace. And I gotta tell you, I didn't even take it up to a quarter throttle, and it sounds mean.
Gizmo doesn't like that.
Yeah, my puppy dog, he doesn't like that sound. But
Alan's here. He says hi. His name's Gary.
hey, Alan. It does look like everything is set up properly. I just need to adjust the throws on the flaps and put in Expo. There's still one screw needs tightened down the rest of the way because the Allen wrench was spinning in there. So I'll try. I think I was using the metric, which I think it was calling out metric. But I'll look to see if I have slightly better. This one does look a little bit rounded on the tip. So it's probably just that, but I'll find what I need to get that tightened down the rest of the way. But we'll unplug this and take the bind plug out. So it's ready to go the next time. And we'll charge this battery up all the way for the flight tomorrow. And you can see that without the weight of the battery, this thing tips on the back wheels. But that's all ready to go. Looking really nice. And I'll take a picture of it and it'll be the thumbnail, and I'll share it on Instagram and stuff. I am excited about this. It looks good. And if you guys weren't here at the beginning when I said thanks to Kevin, everybody needs to say hi and thanks to Kevin Trappin, because he sent me this plane to fly. And I do appreciate that so much, and hopefully it goes really good and doesn't end up like the planes that Dave sent me. I tore them up really bad. And so thank you so much, Kevin. And we'll get the flight tomorrow. I'll probably just do a live maiden because everything looks nice and straight. And I don't expect there to be too much of a problem. I will get the safe all set up because I think it's supposed to have safe. And I'm pretty sure I gotta select. I just tried to make the surfaces move was safe, and I took the battery out. That was pretty bad. All right.
He said he hopes it's a decent battery.
Oh yeah. The Venom batteries. I really like the Venom batteries, so it'll be real nice in there, and I'm sure it'll be a good balance for the CG. If you guys don't have any other questions, I think we're done building the airplane. So, if you guys like my videos, which I'm sure all of you guys are, but anybody that watches the video after it's posted, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you like it good enough, everybody, give me a thumbs up. And you guys can go ahead and leave comments on this video. I'll be back to read those. And like I said, we'll fly it live tomorrow. Until tomorrow, I'm Gary, and I just got here. Good? Any more questions?
No, it's like just people saying, awesome build, Gary. Thanks, Gary and Mrs. IJGH.